Hi everyone, welcome to Balls and All, your sports and leisure show. A little bit windy at the moment, and we're coming to you tonight from the foreshore near the Burswood where the speedboats go. You've seen we've done a few shows in the past with the speedboats, and I'm really happy to be introducing a couple new reporters we've got joining us here on Balls and All. And as we always say, let's get the Balls and All rolling. And first person I'll be chatting with is Cleo. Hi Cleo.
Hi, how are you going?
Good, good. Now we're looking forward to some stories for you in the future.
Sure are.
And you're going to get in with it, learning, having a lot of the fun that we always have here on Balls and All.
Always, yeah.
And also Carmel. Hi, Carmel.
Hi, how you going?
Good, good. Now, Carmel, you and Cleo actually spoke to some young guys here doing a bit of speedboating.
That's right, that'll be on next week's show.
So, yeah, we're going to be looking forward to that. So we've got a really big, busy show for you tonight, and we're going to get it all rolling. We've got tons of stories. We're going to start off with a story we did recently. A friend of mine, Charlie Taylor, who kept hiding from the camera and kept hiding from the microphone, told us about a Harley ride where all the people with their big Harleys went for a ride down to Bunbury and had a nice time. So let's have a look at the story. Hi everyone, I'm down at Fraser's Motorcycles in Morley here. They're the people who have all the big Harleys hanging around, and we're here for a bit of a special event. It's actually only the second time it's been going, is that correct?
In WA, yes.
In WA. I was talking with Scotty. Hi Scotty, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yourself?
Good, good. Now this is the Sportster Run, which a whole bunch of you, about 30 or so of you, get together and go down to Bunbury, is that correct?
That's correct. We did it last year for the first time, yeah.
And I was told by Charlie here, who's hiding around the place somewhere, that basically it's organised, but it's not a club or a committee or anything like that. Just a bunch of people having a bit of fun.
That's correct. I mean, there are a few clubs in WA where it's just Harleys, and there's no sort of structure when we're riding as such. It's just good fun.
Yeah. Now. There's a group, you go down to Bunbury, and I'm told they have a bit of a band, and you guys have a bit of fun down there and all that kind of stuff. But what actually got you as a woman involved in all this?
Oh, well, my husband's had Harleys for about 10 years now, and we went up to Broome, and I was a pillion at the time, and I thought, no way will I ever do that again.
I can fully understand that part.
So when we came back, I got my 250, and then I got my Harley.
Good, good. Because there's a lot of women involved in this too. It's not really just a blokey thing, is it?
Oh, not now. I mean, and more women, and it tends to be partners that have brought the women into it.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of everybody gets fed up sitting on the back and watching the view go by. You want to be involved and know what they experience when they're up front.
I'm told the way you tell a happy motorcyclist is by the bugs in his teeth. Is that correct?
Oh, a lot of them now are big wussies. They wear bandanas or they've got shields on. It's not the way it used to be.
Hiding their face. Don't want to get recognised, some of these guys. Now tell us a bit about your bike here, the one hiding behind you there.
This is a 1200. It did have a peanut tank on it, like the black one over there. But because I do a lot of long distance riding, you sort of need to fill up about every 100k, 150k. So now you put the big tanks on, and I get approximately 300 out of my tank now, which means if you're doing long runs, it makes a big difference.
What kind of runs do you do? You say you do long runs. Where do you go?
Well, the last really long one I did, there was a group of us rode to the South Australian border in a day.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And what, just go for the ride? Or?
Yeah, just for the hell of it. It was basically called Iron Butt Ride, and you certainly felt that way when we got there.
Yeah, I remember back in the days when I used to ride a bike, you kind of get used to it, don't you?
Well, that's right. And with the Sportsters as well, they're not rubber mounted, so you feel every lump bump when you go over it.
Yeah, they're not well, yours is the big 1200 though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 1200. You either get the 883, the Hugger, or the 1200.
Yeah. So do you do like your own maintenance on the bike? Do you do anything like that yourself?
My husband makes me. He said, because I ride on my own a lot as well, and if I don't know what's broken down, how the hell can I fix it?
Yeah. Have you had any like funny incidents while you've been out on your bikes riding around and?
One instance we were camping, and we were going to Iniaba, and my husband decided to do some maintenance on my bike for me, and halfway up there we stopped because it started to rain, so we put the wet weathers on, and only I couldn't go down my gears. I'd lost my gear shift. He'd forgotten to tighten it up.
Oh, jeez. Well, look, we wish you all the best, and hope you have a good time down there, and obviously we'll follow this, and we'll probably be seeing you guys all next year as well about this ride.
So it'll be on every year, yeah.
So I'll talk to, I think we're going to grab Kylie. She's actually the organizer. She's trying to hide as well, and she's going to give us phone numbers and whatever if someone else wants to get involved and have a bit of fun. So have a good time down there.
Thank you very much. We will.
Okay. After me, of course, when it comes to bike riding, there's no one better than Wayne Gardner. You've all heard of Wayne Gardner, and I'm happy to be talking to him here now. Hi, Wayne.
How you going, mate? All right?
That's really Wayne Gardner.
Well, it is, yeah.
not the one that I was actually lying about just then. No. Now, this is your beautiful bike here. Tell us a bit about that.
Okay, it's 2 years old. It's a 98 Sportster. It's 1200 cc's. It's 4 inches longer in the front forks, 4 inches overstock. It's got semi-ape hangers on it.
What's the advantage of that? I mean, I know the Easy Rider days and all that, but what's the advantage of the extra length?
More for looks. It's more just to give the bike a little bit of character, a bit of style, rather than just what everyone else has got. Yeah. And that's why I've changed it, just for my own personality. Yeah.
Now, with the Harley's king of motorcycles, what's the deal on this? I mean, this is one you've kind of bought and then put together, or you bought?
Yeah, I've changed a fair amount on it. It's been in a couple of shows. I like to try and show it as well as ride the bike.
Yeah.
And it's used regularly, and there's not much more I can really say about it.
So, Wayne, when you're going down the road, do you ever hum to yourself, the down na na na?
No, not really. No.
But I know in the States you often ride without helmets and the wind in the hair and all that. But here we all ride with helmets here, and you guys are all on your way to Bunbury. Is this your first time or second?
This is the second one we've been on, and we enjoyed it so much last time. We decided to go again.
Any good stories?
Not really. Well, my wife was that impressed with going last time, she came on the back with me, that she bought a Harley herself.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So that way no one's fighting over who gets the bike.
No.
That's good. Well, we wish you all the best as you're on your trip down there, and thanks for talking to us. Okay, now I've managed to catch Kylie. She's been hiding. Hi, Kylie.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Now, tell us, you're the organizer of all this. How many bikes do you think are going in this run?
We're expecting 100 registered, and about 30 of those are Sportsters, and the rest 1340s and new twin cam model.
Now, you ride as well. I've seen your bike hiding over there. Do you do any of your own maintenance or anything on that?
Not yet.
Oh, that's good. Your fella here is the works in the service department, doesn't he?
Most definitely.
Okay, that's handy, isn't it?
Quite.
Now, I was just talking to Scotty. Now, what gets a woman involved in motorcycles? It's tended to be, especially Harleys anyway, a blokey type of thing. But there's quite a few women involved in this. So what got you involved in it?
It's been in the family for quite a few years, and it's just been something that I've followed, much under my father's guidance. Hello, Daryl.
Yeah, hi, Dad. So now
we're a family. We're all riding now, so
all Harleys.
It's definitely a Harley family, yes.
And you chose, obviously, the Harley because you're involved here? Is it just something your family's always been into, like you say?
Family.
Yeah. Now, if someone else wants to know about this, because obviously when this goes to air, it's going to be too late for this run because it's happening today, but they want to get in touch and find out about for next year or any other events, who would they call?
Well, they could contact Fraser Motorcycles. You can contact myself or just phone up and ask.
And do you know, what's the number here?
Yeah, the phone number is 089 370 5662.
Okay, you want to do that in telethon style, sort of dancing? Now, okay, so they can ring you and just ask about... Now, do you have any other events that they might get involved in? Because I'm told, like Charlie mentioned, that it's not really like a club. You're not like cheaters or jokers or anyone like that. It's just a bunch of people having a bit of fun. And it's organised, but not in such a way that it's a club or anything like that.
It's just for everybody. Everybody's welcome to come down.
But it's Harleys only?
Harleys only, yes.
Yeah, okay. And any other events through the year, or do you do this one only once a year?
So far it's just the sports to run that we've organised. We do other day rides, so to keep updated, just pop into the shop. We always do flyers, we do post outs, that sort of thing.
Excellent. Well, we wish you all the best. Have a good run. You happy it's over now?
It's out, yes.
Okay, and don't smile too much because there's a lot of bugs on the way. So.
Yeah, I don't want to catch those bugs.
Have a good time.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
now I'm talking to Terry Seaman, who's the state manager for Frasers here. Hi, Terry.
G'day, Moose. How are you?
Good, good. Now, tell us a bit about this ride, what it's all about.
The Sports to Run really is a special day. It's an organised ride. We have a trip that's set out through the southwest. We'll leave here at 10:30, probably get to the site at 3:30, a luncheon in between. We do this every 12 months to basically promote the sports, just give these people a special run of their own. They're a better handling bike than the big ones. They enjoy the country roads, but not to leave anybody out. As you can see from the group here, the larger bikes will leave an hour later. They will follow a similar route down to the campsite, have overnight music, food provided, just generally a very social get-together.
Fantastic. Now, they don't just go from here to Bunbury. They actually have a set route they're actually doing on the way. Is that correct?
That's right, Moose. We've taken the people through the most scenic areas we can find, so that instead of a boring old trip down the South West Highway, which everybody in Perth's done to death, we'll take them up through Serpentine Dam, down through a very picturesque ride through Dwellingup. Ravenswood Hotel for lunch is superb by the river, and then we'll cut across country from the South West Highway down to Austerland. So it's a good run.
Fantastic. Now, as you say, when they get there, it's an overnight stay, isn't it? One night.
It is, yes.
Now, when you say they get down there, they've got a band or something playing?
Well, this year we've got basically a professional DJ with a mix.
Nothing like the sound of a Harley, is it?
You've got to compete with it. A professional DJ with a mix of music. The difficult part with getting a band down there, these shows are a bit slow to get started, plus being in a camping area, you have to shut down at midnight. So the band side of it we used last year was good but very limited, but we think that using our own choice of music will probably get better value for the clients out of that.
Well, hopefully the people in the caravans and whatever will get involved in it as well. So this goes on every year?
We will do this each year, try and make it an annual event. It becomes a bit of an institution. I think people like that. They like something that has some repetition, that has some lifespan to it. The venue is excellent. It is a really excellent venue. The riding is safe. So we would really like to try and make this an annual event and keep it going for a number of years.
Fantastic. And I've been told, as I've said earlier, that it's not actually a group of like coffin cheaters or anyone like that in particular. It's just a bunch of people. As long as you got a Harley and you want to go, you can go.
That's it. Really, it's an open invitation, and the main thing is to come along, enjoy yourself, and meet some people who enjoy themselves.
Okay. Well, thanks very much for that, Terry, and I hope that everyone has a good time. And we're going to obviously keep involved and let people know for next year. And as I said earlier, anyone who wants to, just give you a call here and talk to Kylie.
Certainly.
And if you got a Harley and would like to have a run, this is the best way to do it, because you're with a crowd of people all having fun and a bunch of beautiful bikes here. And so if you want to do it, as we say, get in touch with them and go for a ride this time next year.
Same time, same place.
Okay, thanks, Terry. The other lot go because I'm going to catch up with them, and I only have a license for a 250. So Frasers here have kindly loaned me a bike to ride down with them, and a couple 100 kilometres, so I'll catch up with them. As the saying goes, on your bike, son. So I've got my own Harley here. Hey, the bloody tires are flat. I'll never catch them like this. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Thanks very much to Kylie and Terry and Charlie. Whoa, there's a big boat going. And all the people down there with the Harleys down at Frasers. And don't forget, if you want to go for that ride next year, looks like they would have had a good time. Make sure you give them a call. So what do you think about the big choppers?
Oh, I tell you, Moose, I would really like one. So if anyone's got one out there, I'm your girl for it.
That's it. And what about you, Carmel?
Oh, that looked good. Did you ever catch up with them, Moose?
No, I think I'm still pedaling somewhere down on the Southwest Highway. So if you see me, just pull over and give us a beer, will you? Anyway, all right, we're going to be taking a break, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Welcome back, everybody, to Balls and All. And as you know, if you've been watching the show, my name is James, and I'm here with Cleo today. Recently, we went down to the Embassy Ballroom, the whole gang of Balls and All, and there's a lot of people there, some good celebrities. And would you like to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, we actually went down there and we had a really, really good time. While we were there, Debbie actually spoke to two of the rock and roll dance group.
Yeah, which is pretty good.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good night. So get your pen and paper ready. And let's take a look.
Hi everyone, I'm at the Embassy Ballroom tonight for the Let's Go Surfing Rock and Roll Party, and with me is Barry and Loretta, and we're going to be seeing some dancing demonstrations a bit later on. Now, what kind of dances are we going to see?
Well, Debbie, we'll see an example of some of the styles of rock and roll that are being practiced around Perth at the moment. We're going to see a bit of rockabilly, we'll see some old-time rock and roll, and we'll also see a bit of Lindy Hop, which has been introduced to Perth in the last few years with Janet and Roger.
Right, okay. Now, you're involved with a rock and roll council, is that right? What's involved in that?
Okay, well, the Rock and Roll Council of Western Australia is one of the bodies in Western Australia that's strongly promoting rock and roll dancing and the appreciation of the music. And our object in life, I suppose, is to link up with all the dancers and teachers and promoters, venue operators, the media and sponsors, and to help to develop the rock and roll scene in Perth and in Western Australia.
Well, we do a lot of social dance competitions. We're having one very shortly throughout various venues around Perth. We also do actual competitions once a year, and we hold a number of functions that encourages people to come along and enjoy themselves.
Okay, now if anybody wants to learn this kind of dancing, where can they go and have some lessons?
Okay, well again, Debbie, there are lessons all around Perth and indeed down in Mandurah and in Bunbury, so plenty of opportunities, northern suburbs, southern suburbs and central. There are lessons every day of the week, and every one of the styles of rock and roll is out there and being taught at the moment. So some fabulous opportunities for people that want to get in and learn some skills and get out into the dance scene and practice those skills.
So there you go, there is no excuse why you cannot get out there and start learning. Isn't that right? Okay, so who can we contact if we're interested?
Try the Rock and Roll Council of Western Australia. We're in the phone book, and we can be reached on 9381 4814.
Okay, Loretta, could you tell us about the social rock and roll competitions that are coming up?
Certainly. Very shortly, we're about to commence the search for WA's best rock and roll dancers. Now, you're more than invited to come along and have a look how it's all done. Various venues around town, which is the Careen Glades, the Raffles, the Hyde Park, the Ravenswood and the Mustang Bar in Northbridge. If you would like to just give those various venues a ring, they'll let you know what nights we're actually going to be there. So please come along, have a look how it's done, and we'd love to see you.
Okay, thank you, Debbie. I hope you guys really took that number down, because I tell you, it's a great activity to get into. If you don't have the number, just look on our website. I'm sure we'll have it on there. It was actually quite amazing. Apparently there were 2 dance performances that were performed. They were quite interesting and very exciting.
Yeah, they were awesome, Cleo. When you take a look at this next story, you'll see they took a lot of time into getting the right clothes, and they had the same shoes and hats and the hairdos and everything. And for younger people, they did a pretty good job dancing. It was really awesome to watch, you know. And don't forget, any viewers out there, this is what our show is all about. We're your sports and leisure show, so if you have anything of interest to do with craft or sports or anything at all, make sure you email us and we'll come down and see you. So take a look at this story and see what you think.
Anytime you're ready, mate. for the Australian Betty Cochrane. Come on, everybody. A big round of applause for a couple of course, there are many different forms of rock and roll dance.
Yes, welcome back, everybody. That was a good story there by Debbie. And have you ever done any of that kind of dance? I seen you out there earlier.
Oh, I have done a little bit only through friends and things like that, but I sure did have a ball. I didn't see you out there. Where were you?
No, a bit shy of all that kind of stuff, you know. I don't really like to get into that. Did you ever do any dance training at a younger age?
I think I went to a couple of classes, but I didn't really... didn't interest me at all, but I tell you, you'd have to have patience to do that kind of work. Loads of hours and hours of rehearsals. I couldn't handle that.
Yeah, when you look at it, like the routines and that, it just must have been a lot of training and that. And they were very fit young people. It was pretty awesome, you know.
I suppose it is hard working with partners and stuff like that. So yeah, it looked very impressive.
It was a good night altogether. There was a lot of people there. I think there was 300 people or something. And it was just going off. It was a real good night.
We had a ball, yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to go to a commercial break now, so we'll be back after these messages. Yes, welcome back, everybody, and as you can see, I'm with Carmel now. How are you going?
Good, thanks. And yourself, James?
Very good. Okay, the next story, me and Debbie recently went down with a good friend of mine, Justin, and a bunch of guys called This next story's on a four-wheel driving. Have you ever been out four-wheel driving?
No, I haven't, but I've always wanted to go, so next time you go, please take me along with you.
We'll have to all go out. It was my first time going out four-wheel driving as well, and I did not expect what they did. I've never ever seen a car or any kind of vehicle do this kind of stuff, as you guys will see from this story. These guys go out all the time to local areas and they just drive around and have fun in their cars. It's pretty much, you know, just a bunch of guys having a good time.
Sounds like great fun.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, you'll see some awesome footage in this. And we'll be following these guys a little bit off and on because they do a lot of fun stuff. So take a look at the story. Hello, I'm James.
And I'm Debbie.
We're from Bowls and All. We've promised you a story on the spoons, I believe, Debbie.
That's right.
And what the spoons are about, what is it about?
Well, the spoons are a group of mates who are into four-wheel driving, and we're up here at Mundaring going through a few challenges.
That's right. We'll show you a lot more footage later, and we'll even have a chat to the spoons, so stay with us. Stay still for a second. Yeah. Take it. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm going to come and talk to some of these spoons, so let's have a chat. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, g'day.
How you going, mate?
G'day, is this a nappy sand challenge?
No, it's a spoon challenge, so what I hear. I've seen you do some weird stuff today, mate. How's the car going?
Oh, not too bad. I've had a bit of radiator trouble. I've blown a couple of hoses. At the moment, I've just been a steering rod and a couple of engine mounts, so not too good at the moment. Well, I broke the steering mounts, broke the engine mount.
What's being a spoon all about, mate?
Well, first of all, you got to have a crap car, and then you got to modify it to do everything good. That's it.
Has this one here had many modifications?
Yes. The only original thing on this here is the body. Yeah, just had a new chassis that broke. I got airborne and landed in some rocks and it folded up the front end. Also other things ripped out of it as well, so I got a galvanised chassis. I spent 10 grand the last 2 years on just driveline on the original Rover stuff, so that was substandard, so we put lane cruisers all through it, underslung the diffs, give it the height, then I put on a nice set of tyres with some bodgy looking mud flaps. It kind of looks legal. Yeah, that's probably about it actually.
And how often do you guys all go out together?
We're more out than what we are anywhere else, so Yeah, I don't know, probably 5-6 hours a week at least, and then there's the weekends.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Now, Justin, my mate, how you just started? You got the Hilux, and you've been going okay today. You done much yourself?
Nah, James, like you said the other day, this is our first day up at Mundaring, and man, I'm impressed. They had a ball.
The name of the show is Balls and All, and I've done stories on rally driving and everything, but nothing compares to what I've seen today. I was pooing me pants.
I think I had more fun watching you in the back.
Yeah, no seatbelts, eh? It's not good.
And the Hilux has actually caught up with them, in the same league, so quite impressed. Met the owner who used to own it before, and it's been a good day, mate. Yeah.
What about your car? You had any problems with it?
Nah, not yet. I've been lucky. So early, the day is young, but we'll soon see.
And Mike, is there any challenge that's too big for you guys?
Well, no, James. A lot of people keep saying about, we only go to places where they say you don't go, so we don't really know what the other stuff's like, but we haven't found anything that we haven't got up yet. If all else fails, we use the winch. So,
like we did today on you, mate.
Yeah, well, that's it. I didn't get to use my own, but I got it used on me.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's where the air's coming. What Mike might do that really.
Wow, James, that one shot when that four-wheel drive was had one wheel on one side and the other wheel on the other side of that hole. I didn't realise how big that ditch was until you guys actually got under it.
Yeah, that's what I said. These guys are unbelievable. They basically get challenges and they all go out and try and do it in all their cars. And this guy, he was just the king, mate. And I couldn't believe it. When you see that, and then he does it, and then we all stood under it, and there's some photos on it.
I can imagine with all those challenges, there must be some heavy accidents that come with it.
Well, I don't think the Spoons want me to go into that, so I'll leave that out. I'll have to let the boys keep going. So we'll be partying back with them soon. But I must say, when we go out forward driving, you got to make sure you got a comfortable seat, because I went with my friend Justin in a ute, and I was in the back there the whole ride, and I was getting thrown around. And by the way, Justin, put a plank in it, okay? So that when you get bogged, you got something there.
Well, the next time you go around and you have a spare seat, please do invite me, because I'd love to come along.
Yeah, we'll have to get some more of the crew down there.
Good fun.
Yep. Also, recently I went down and did a story on dragon boating.
Dragon boating? What's that?
Well, it's an ancient form. It's really like a big canoe, I suppose, where there's a lot of rowers and that in it, and it's a pretty good sport. There's quite a few clubs around Perth, and it's been going for a long time. So let's take a look at the story. Hello, I'm James from Balls and All, and I'm down here speaking with John. How you going, mate?
G'day, mate. How are you?
Good. And this is a dragon boat. Would you like to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Dragon boat racing has been around for about 2,000 years. It originated in China, and Australians have grasped the sport over the last 20 odd years. bull horns and all, and yeah, it's been really good.
And how long have you been involved?
I've been involved with dragon boating for 15 years and mainstream here in WA for the last 10.
Okay. Is there any different types or just one standard boat?
Oh, there's a couple of different types of boats. There's aluminium boats, which are innovative here in Western Australia, and in fact for worldwide, and there's the fiberglass boats, and there's also the timber and teak boats. So yeah, there's all different types, larger, smaller. There's ornamental boats from Asia which have up to 100 people paddling them, and then you have the smaller boats which only have crews of 12. So, you know, it covers a broad spectrum.
Is it very competitive here in Perth?
It's very competitive. In WA we have the oldest organised body in Australia called the WA Dragon Boat Association, and we've been organising races since 1984.
I notice also it's mixed in the boats, men and women. Is that how you always do it, or is there men's clubs and girls clubs?
Well, amongst the clubs it's all mixed up, but on race day we have men's categories, women's categories, over 35s, junior schools and corporates, novices, and open division. So we cover the full spectrum for all ages, all sizes, all sexes.
If anyone wants to get involved, how do they get in contact with you?
You can find us in the yellow pages, you can find us on the website, and in the white pages as well under the club listings, under their certain names. The WA Dragon Boat Association is the first point of contact, and then there's the respective clubs that are north and south of the river here in Perth.
Yeah. What are the two clubs that's behind us now?
One of these teams is a corporate team, the Woodside corporate novice team, which are training for the Claysbrook Carnival on April the 2nd, and the other team that's training in the smaller boat tonight is the Perth Pirate Dragon Boat Club.
How often do you guys all get together and train?
3 times a week.
Oh, right. Yeah. Pretty full on. What's the phone number? Do you know if someone does want to get in contact?
The phone number for the Pirates is 947 11 888.
Look at the camera and say, mate.
947 11 888.
That's great. Thank you very much for your time and all the best of luck, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cool.
Wow, James, that looked like great fun. And if any of you guys out there want to show something on TV that you have fun doing, please contact us.
Yeah, make sure you get those emails in. Like we said earlier, we go all around Perth. We see lots of great people doing their sports and leisure. So if you do one of those kind of things, anything at all, everything's interesting, make sure you get on the email and send us something.
We'll be back after these few messages.
Hello, I'm Wayne Simmons, and I'm still for balls and all. I'm here with 2 gorgeous young ladies, Cleo and Carmel, and we just want to say thanks to everyone. We had a great show. The sub show went very well, and thanks to you for your faxes and emails, and Tony was actually halfway decent in that. Now, we also want to talk about Johnny Devlin, his great career, and the show that he did last week. It was fantastic. And Cleo, what did you think of the event?
Oh, I loved it. I had a really, really good time. I enjoyed it very much, yeah.
I'm sure they enjoyed looking at you too. And Carmel, what did you think?
Oh, I had a fantastic time. It was really great to be there and see all those old couples dancing. It was just absolutely heartwarming, it was.
That's excellent. I can tell you right now, there was a lot of elderly people there that actually still had a lot of rhythm and dance steps. I actually got out there and cut a rug myself, but nobody wanted to see that. So anyway, we're just going to talk a little bit about Johnny Devlin. 42 years in the music business, which is actually one of the most toughest and demanding businesses ever. And so you have to have a lot of talent to do that. He also worked with the Beatles. He was actually the first act in the monumental 1964 Beatles tour. So kudos to him, and just have a look at his talent.
Seem right. Can you believe that was banned by a radio station in 2 Sydney? We've come a long way. It certainly did a lot of good for the record because it got up to number 3 on all the other stations, so that was a help.
I now have the pleasure of speaking with one of the greats of Australian rock and roll music. He's been doing it for over 42 years now professionally, and he's worked with some of the greatest artists in the history of music, and that's Johnny Devlin. How you doing, Johnny?
Good, fine, Wayne. Thank you.
You just finished the show, and he was gracious enough to give us this interview right after finishing a pretty hot and heavy show out there and entertaining his fans. Now, you've been in it for 42 years. What got you started?
I actually started professionally in 1958, Wayne. Yeah, 1958. And
the year I was born. And
I celebrated my 40th anniversary in show business in 1998, and I'm now in my 42nd year.
Excellent. Now, you want to talk about some of the great people you've worked with?
Yes, well, I've supported many international acts, including the Beatles, ABBA, Chuck Berry, Conway Twitty, Ricky Nelson, the Everly Brothers, Fabian, Crash Craddock, and the list goes on, the Drifters and so forth. Yeah.
Wow, so you've supported basically all the greats. Now let me ask you this, being a musician myself, do you still get nervous just before you go on, or you got that under control?
Sometimes I do, yes. I was nervous tonight actually. I saw all those people out there and they were all rockers, you know, and I thought, God, we're really got to get into it tonight.
That's right, and you really did a great job of getting them going. Now, you've been doing it for a long time, so not only did you have the talent but the stamina to do it, what else do you think has helped you have such a great and long, successful career?
I think just the burning ambition. I sort of started singing when I was a little fellow, about 5 years of age, and my mother saw this, and so she sort of promoted me and got me going. And when I was at secondary school, all I wanted to do was become a pop star, and I achieved that ambition in New Zealand in 1958 when I first went professional, and then I wanted to come to Australia and make my name over here, and I did that. Then I went to England and recorded over there and did quite a bit, and then I went to America for a couple of weeks and came back to Australia, and we're still going. The records are still coming out.
That's unbelievable. Now, you've had a lot of top 10 hits. You want to talk a little bit about those and what years you had them?
Yes. Well, one of my biggest hits in New Zealand was a record called Lordy Miss Claudie, and that sold over 100,000 copies in 1958, which per capita population went about 10 times gold. And then I came to Australia, pardon me, and my first record here was called Doreen, and that was on the Lead On label, and that made the top 40. And then I had Tiger and Lonely Boy, and Tiger made the charts. That was the same time as Fabian's. And then my first top 10 in Australia was Turn the Lights Out, Johnny, and that was followed up with I Got a Zack in the Back of My Pocket, which made the top 10, and then Gigolo, which was one of my biggest sellers. And then we had Hey Little Angel, which made the top 40, and Charlie Mops, and I also wrote a lot of hits for other artists like Digger Revell, Patsy Ann Noble, and I also wrote the first double-sided instrumental in Australia to make #1 for the Denver Men, which was called Surfside. So I've actually written about 23 hits, I think. About 15 for myself and about 8 for other artists.
That is absolutely fantastic. Now let's talk a little bit about your new CD, 31 tracks. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well this is a compilation starting with my very first recording, Lordy Miss Claudie, and finishing up with my latest recording, which is Rock and Roll, I Gave You All the Best Years of My Life. In between all those years, of course, we've got all the hits which have all been digitally remastered. We've got a fabulous introduction by Johnny O'Keefe, which was taken from 6 O'Clock Rock in 1959. And we also have a couple of tracks on it called A Whole Lot of Shaking Going On and Blue Suede Shoes, which we have the Bee Gees doing vocal backing when they were little kids. So there's a lot of history there, and I'm happy to say that it's just made the top 10 in an English hit parade over there at a magazine called Now Dig This. And it's also been getting rave reviews in countries like Sweden and places like that. So I'm very proud of the album, and if anyone would like to win one, They can write to Balls and All. I think that's the program, and one lucky winner will receive a copy of the album and also a photograph I had taken with the Beatles back in 1964. So I'll autograph those for them now.
Now, I mean, 42 years. What would be your greatest memory of the music industry for yourself?
I think it would have been chosen to do the Beatles tour in 1964 because there were many, many entertainers around, and many names, perhaps bigger than mine, that could have supported them, but they chose me, and that was a great honour. I didn't know whether to do the tour at first because at the time they were the hottest act in the world, and I really tossed up. So I told the promoters that if I could go on first, I would do the tour so that I could get on and get off as quick as possible because I knew that the crowd would probably be yelling out, "We want the Beatles." But I was actually surprised at the reception that I got on the Beatles tour. It was in quite a few shows I got encored, so that was something. And the guys turned out to be great guys, and we had a lot of fun together, and many, many memories. But that would be, I think, one of the highlights, if not the highlight, of my 42 years in show business.
Now, for someone just starting off into the music business, what would you tell them? What advice would you give them?
Be prepared for the downs as well as the ups, because it's not just all smooth sailing. You probably have a lot of downs. Get yourself a very good manager and a good accountant, and when you make the big money, salt it away, because it won't be there forever.
Excellent. Well, we just want to thank you for doing the interview. We want to thank you for the tremendous show that you put on tonight, and we will definitely be seeing you anytime you come back into this Perth area. Well, you've been a fantastic performer for 42 years, and we wish you 42 more, and all the best to you.
Thank you very much, Wayne.
Okay, I'm going to do a song for you now. That was the first rock and roll #1 record in the world, and I think you all know it. And you're most welcome to hop up and have a dance if you wish. I'd love to see you on the floor. Well, it's 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock, gonna rock. Round clock tonight, put your legs on, join me, we're gonna have some fun. When the clock strikes 1, we're gonna rock. Round the clock tonight, rock, 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 till broad daylight, gonna rock, round the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 2, 3, and 4, the band goes down the air. Round the clock tonight, rock, 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 till broad daylight, gonna rock, round the clock tonight. Say hello, girls! Say hello! When the time 3, 5, 6, and 7, we'll be right on the 7th head. We're gonna rock round the clock tonight. Rock, 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 till the broad daylight. Gonna rock round the clock tonight. Well, it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 2. How about song, baby? How about you? We're gonna rock round the clock tonight. Rock, 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 till the broad daylight. Gonna rock round the clock tonight. That song I found out a couple of weeks ago was the 3rd biggest selling single in the entire world. So there you go.
And here's the famous CD by Johnny Devlin. 42 years of great hits. This guy has worked with some of the greats in the music industry. It's just been so many. It's just too many to mention. He's just a fantastic artist. And like I said before, anybody that can last 42 years in this business has to be great.
in any business, actually. And I don't know if you can see this. We'll give you a close-up of it anyway. It's when Johnny met up with the Beatles, a name that some people of our era anyway will at least remember. One of the greatest rock and roll bands ever, for sure, the Beatles. Now, we had a great time. Thanks to Les Dixon and all those people down there at the Embassy Ballroom, and we hope that we'll be telling you more when more of these gigs come up. We will be showing you a lot more about it next week. We actually spoke with Little Patty and Yeoman, those of you who go back to the days of the 60s.
That's right. You know, like I go back to prehistoric times. I remember Barney and Fred. So
I've seen people digging up your footprints. And people around Scarborough, the old Stomp, the Yeoman were down there. We got a lot more of that coming up next week. It was just too big a night to put in one show, and we had all the other stories we wanted to show you tonight. So, as always, we want you to stick with us. Make sure you watch us every Monday night at 8:30.
Enjoy yourself, and make sure you have a great weekend.
Yep, and what we're going to do now is leave you with a little bit more of the dancing. Also, thanks to Cleo and Carmel for joining us. We appreciate that, and you'll be seeing a lot more of them. So let's have a look at the dancing, fantastic dancing that went on there. Don't forget, Monday night, 8:30, and the name of the show is
Balls and All!
Baby, baby, it looks like it's summer here. Baby, it looks like it's gonna hail. You better come inside, let me teach you how to jive and wheel. Oh, you gotta jump, jive, then you really 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 gotta jump, jive, then you really.
exhibition of rock and roll and Lindy hopping. Oh, gee, fabulous performance. Thank you so much and for doing it.